We will talk about Real Madrid president growing impatient with lack of playing time for club prodigies, the Barcelona defender praises Modric, and Brazil coach explains reason for Real Madrid forwards exclusion for upcoming matches. Please let us know your opinion on this in the comments section and don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Recent reports from Manuel Amor, HT 4 Arab, have shed light on the situation regarding two promising young players at Real Madrid, Arda Güler and Endrick. Within the club, there is a growing concern about the lack of playing time for both players, especially considering their impressive performances with their national teams. Despite their evident talent, it appears that they are not receiving the recognition they deserve within the team. When Carlo Ancelotti has given Güler and Endrick opportunities to play, they have consistently delivered strong performances. However, there is an increasing sense of frustration among team members regarding their current status. No opportunities for Güler and Endrick. In recent matches, the Turk has seen very limited action, appearing only in stoppage time against Borussia Dortmund and failing to make an appearance in the matches against Celta and El Clasico. This limited playing time has resulted in him logging just 251 minutes in La Liga this season, leading to irritation from club president Florentino Perez, who is becoming increasingly impatient with how little both Güler and Endrick are utilized. Endrick has hardly played for Real Madrid this season. Photo by Dennis Doyle, Getty Images. The statistics paint a clear picture of their lack of involvement. Güler has participated in only 292 minutes across 15 games, which amounts to a mere 21.6% of the total time available. Endrick's situation is even more concerning, with only 107 minutes played, representing just 7.9% of the total possible playing time. This disparity between their performance on the international stage and their roles at Real Madrid is baffling to many at the club. What does Ancelotti think? Meanwhile, Ancelotti has stated that his decisions regarding player minutes are not arbitrary but rather based on careful consideration. He argues that his management of player time has generally been effective, allowing him to capitalize on the strengths of all his players. He has noted that the competition in both midfield and attack is quite fierce. Additionally, there are concerns about Güler's defensive work during training sessions, with Ancelotti urging him to improve in that area. Overall, the situation of Güler and Endrick raises questions about how talent is recognized and utilized at Real Madrid. With their potential still largely untapped, it remains to be seen how Ancelotti will adjust their roles in the squad moving forward. Real Madrid's last game left memories that will haunt the men in white for a significant time to come. Up against an in-form Barcelona, many expected Los Blancos to pounce on the Catalans' high defensive line and execute lethal counterattacks. However, Hansi Flick's side played the offside trap to perfection and the men in white struggled to break through. While Real Madrid's attack deserved slack for the same, the Blaugrana defense merits credit for their work, especially Pau Cubarsí and Inigo Martinez. Barcelona defender praises Modric. Speaking to Sport, Barcelona defender Inigo Martinez was quizzed on several topics including his favorite players by attribute. After naming many Barcelona legends and current players including Andrés Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, Robert Lewandowski and Pedri for multiple categories, the player was asked who he saw as the best in the world in terms of game vision. The Basque star's direct and unhesitant response to the same was naming none other than Real Madrid and Croatia superstar Luka Modric, who is largely considered one of the best players in history. Modric's magic on the field, after all, is undeniable and the player continues to pull the strings for Los Blancos week in and week out, even if it is with a brief cameo to turn the tide around. Modric and Martinez faced off just last weekend in El Clasico at Santiago Bernabéu. The Basque star was a critical part of Barcelona's high defensive line while Modric entered the field in the second half as Ancelotti's response to going 0-2 down. The defender, however, did phenomenally well to deny Modric from making any game-changing contributions and will be pleased with himself for stopping the player he considers the best. Modric, meanwhile, will be in action when Real Madrid take on AC Milan at home in the UEFA Champions League next week. Brazil coach explains reason for Real Madrid forwards exclusion for upcoming matches. Endrick was a constant member of the Brazilian national team through 2024 at just 18 years of age and has already scored 3 goals in 12 appearances for the Selecao. In what comes as a massive surprise, however, the youngster has been left out of Dorival Junior's team for the upcoming international break, and Real Madrid are largely to blame for the same. Carlo Ancelotti, after all, has shown no confidence in the young phenom in recent weeks and has not given him a single minute in the team's last 4 games. His last game, ironically, was his first start for the club, against Lille, which did not go to plan. Dorival speaks on Endrick. Speaking to the media in a recent interview, the Brazil national team manager revealed that he would not call up Endrick once more unless he saw more minutes at the club level, and sent out a statement that players not playing for their clubs would have it difficult to be called up. Today it is in a time of transition, in which it is perhaps the greatest team in world football. It is a natural process that takes time. We all have to live with this decision, he said when asked about Endrick. The doors of the Selecao are not closed to him, I trust him and he knows it. What he has to do now is relocate to his club so that later he can shine, he added. Elaborating on what he expected of the youngster at Real Madrid, he said, the club where he arrived is getting to know him better. Endrick is in a new environment and this, I insist, asks for a certain time. Finally, he made it clear that he would not turn to Endrick again unless he played regularly for Real Madrid or at least demanded more minutes. It's natural that if you don't play for your club, it creates a complicated situation. As long as all the players have to be playing for them to be here in the Selecao, he noted. Real Madrid fans have identified with Jude Bellingham from early on in his time in Madrid, but his face of frustration was not the image they were hoping to relate to on Saturday night during El Clasico. Bellingham was played on the right-hand side to halt the marauding runs of Alejandro Balda, not only dampening his own offensive contribution, but failing to prevent his opposite number from assisting the second goal. Manager Carlo Ancelotti has come in for heavy criticism this week in the local press and from the Real Madrid hierarchy, and one of the frustrations with his setups this season has been the usage of Bellingham. The England star has been used on the left, deeper and on the right, as Ancelotti tries to fit Kylian Mbappé into the side. It has not exactly worked, as he has provided just 3 assists, compared to 12 goal contributions at this stage last season. Jude Bellingham is not particularly pleased with #Real Madrid after their behavior surrounding the #Ballon d'Or. If it's not Vinicius, it has to be Carvajal, was the word from the club. Bellingham finished 3rd, but was barely mentioned as a candidate. An article in Marca explains that Bellingham is in need of a little more love and appreciation at the moment. After reports that Bellingham was not happy with his treatment surrounding the Ballon d'Or, they say that Ancelotti has spoken with the 21-year-old, and told him that he will be used closer to the area from now on. While he may have to defend a flank, he will be attacking the middle of the pitch. There is little doubt that it was one of Real Madrid's most effective weapons last season, although it became much less incisive in the second half of the year, as Bellingham's body struggled. Another key feature of their attack was the presence of Joselu Mato. The big target man was on the pitch for more than half of Bellingham's goals last season, and they no longer have a figure like that in their squad. Real Madrid find themselves in an interesting position right now. They lost 4-0 at the Santiago Bernabéu to FC Barcelona to fall 6 points behind Hansi Flick's high-flying side. On the day, they looked miles behind their El Clasico rivals and need to find a way back in the title race. But instead, it looks like one of their best players is being linked with a future exit. Vinicius Jr.'s name has been in the headlines lately after he lost the Ballon d'Or race to Rodri despite being the overwhelming favorite. Some feel it was a terrible decision. Others feel the Manchester City midfielder was the right winner after inspiring Spain to the Euros. The biggest question though surrounds the future of Vinicius. The Brazilian superstar has been linked with a Real Madrid exit recently, and those talks seem to be only growing. As tweeted by Santi Auna, in recent weeks, Saudi met with Vinicius' entourage in Madrid. They want him in 2026. They are offering him an astronomical deal for 4 years. Real Madrid superstars' entourage hold talks over exit. Many might roll their eyes at the suggestion of Vinicius leaving top-level European football in his prime, but one cannot overlook the financial side of things. He will almost certainly become the highest-paid sportsman in the world if he makes the move. In the past, players like Oscar and Hulk have made similar moves despite having plenty of top-level football left in the tank. Even Neymar was 31 when he decided to move to Al Hilal last year. So, nothing is outside the realm of possibility. Add to that the fact that Real Madrid signed Kylian Mbappe in the summer and Vinicius might feel that a lot of the spotlight is no longer on him despite his contributions for the club over the years. Let's see how things